Hello everyone, and this is terrain shading 2.0. Technically, we're going to do terrain shading using UV randomization. Okay, so which is actually a really powerful technique. But this tutorial is specific to Octane. Unless you have a UV randomization tool available in your specific render engine, then it's great. Otherwise, this is specific to Octane because the UV randomization script is an OSL script. So again, the great thing about OSL is that it is now supported in like a whole bunch of render engines. So V-Ray has it, and Arnold has it, and RenderMan has it. So if you can get the script to work within your render engine, you can follow this. Even though I think Max does have a UV randomization option with its own OSL stuff that is available, so you should be able to follow it in there. But yeah, again, this is specific to Octane, but with an asterisk. Like if you can find similar stuff, you should be able to follow it. So what we're doing essentially is, or what UV randomization allows, is that on a per tile basis or with a given input, you can randomize the UVs. Okay, so just to give you an example of it, this is technically what it will do. Okay, so given an input, you can randomize the scale rotation of the UVs. So what happens is that the tiling, that pattern that you're getting, even though the texture is completely tileable, so you're not getting too many sort of repeat patterns, but you will eventually start seeing repeat patterns if you tile it up enough. So what the UV randomization does is it sort of randomizes the whole thing, like it sort of randomly rotates and everything depending on your given input. But then I kind of modified it a little bit more, and you can sort of, like, what you need to do is you need to break up the boundaries. So I've added like a noise to the boundaries, so then it becomes truly sort of, it mixes up quite well, so you don't see any kind of a pattern overall. Now, the map that you need, okay, is from a website called silverwing-vfx.de. The artist is Rafael Rao, and you'll find a link called OSL repository. I'll put this link down below in the description. And then if you go to, there's a Google Drive link, and what you want to download is the OSL triplanar random UVs. And then there's also another one which is really useful called OSL hue shifter, which what that does is it, again, on a given input, you can randomize the hue or the saturation of your map to get, more variation. So that is what you primarily need to download. Now, along with that, I have a couple of my own OSL textures which I'm going to use for this. So I'll attach these as well with it. So primarily there is something called cell noise, okay, which is what you need to get, random colored squares, because what it's doing is it takes an input of, say, random grayscale squares, and then that value is used, and then you multiply it with 360 and you'll get like, random rotation. So there's that, and the other one is the UV distort. Okay, so both of these are needed as well to sort of make the UV randomization to work. Okay, so to start with, so I have a grid, and then I took my height map and I've built like a basic terrain. Okay, so I have this. So nothing fancy, I just applied a height map to my grid. Okay, so if I come to the material net, this is the basic shader that I have at the moment. So to get started, what we need is we need to set up a triplanar map, and then we're going to use the UV randomization to modify the triplanar. So just to sort of start with, I'm going to import my, let's import the UV randomization. So just type in OSL projection. So this is a projection. So you're modifying the UVs itself. And then you also get OSL textures. Okay, so take the OSL project, and let me just see if I have it here. So yeah, so there you go, I have the whole thing. Or we can just load it up. So I can come into, and I can load up the OSL triplanar random UV. So it'll generate the UI over here, or the inputs, but then if you want to see them at this point, you need to click on compile and build. So you'll get the, the full user interface. Okay, and then what you want to do is this should be set to triplanar. So type in triplanar and you'll get something called projection triplanar. Okay, so plug that in over here. Okay, now what we also need is I need my OSL texture, which is the cell map. So again, I'll type in OSL and I will take texture OSL and pick up the cell noise. And again, just hit compile and build. So if I connect this, you should be able to see it, which is, yeah, there you go. That's basically, it just generates cells and it generates black and white or colored. Okay, so if you want colored cells, you can have colored cells. If you want black and white, you can do black and white. Okay, so this is good. And then before I set up the rest of it, I'm also going to set up the UV distort just to show you what we're doing. So I'm going to set, it has inbuilt scaling. So I'll scale it down to like 6. I think 6 should be good. Yeah. And then I want to distort these edges. So what I can do is I can again pick up another OSL projection and I'm going to pick up the UV distort that I have made and plug this into projection and then take a noise map and just multiply it. So we'll just take a multiply and we can take like a transform 3D so that we can control the scaling of our noise. Okay, so this comes into 1 and then that goes into distance. See, there you go. That's what you'll get, which is a little too much. So just take the texture value and lower the multiplication. But see, what this does is it allows you to sort of break up the pattern itself. So it will, when it randomizes, you won't see the straight cut lines. But for now, I'll just disconnect it. So I'll sort of show it later. Okay, so temporarily, I'll just put all of this back here. And let's first set up the basic texture. So I'm going to take a texture image RGB and this comes into the projection. Okay, and then we'll also need like a transform 2D so that we can tile up the texture. And then let's load up the grass texture. Yeah, so I'll just load up the grass color. And if you directly connect it, you're not going to see anything because if the projection is kept to triplanar, like you'll just get like a green shade, like you won't see the map at all. So it needs to go through a triplanar map. Okay, so just take a triplanar and you'll find something called procedural triplanar and just plug it into everything. So X, Y, and Z. Yeah, and then just plug it in over here. See, so there you go. So you'll get projection triplanar and then you can tile it up if you want, so you'll get a little more tiling. So which is nice. This is actually a good map because you don't really see so much repeat patterns anyways. So let's do one thing. Let's replace this with something where you can see. So let's take dirt where we can sort of see, there you go. You can sort of see the repeat patterns. So now what you can do is in order to start randomizing this, I can just take my, let's call this as cells and let's call this as random UV. So we can just take this and you have like these colored in the dark green ones are the ones where you want to connect the map. So you can offset position, you can offset scaling and you can offset rotation. Okay. And you can also offset them individually. So you can offset just the U or the V or just the U scale or the V scale. So you can really modify it. This is a very well made map. Thank you to Raphael because this is something that I was looking for. Somebody asked me with the previous lesson, oh, there's a Blender lesson. Can you do the same thing? And I was like, I know basics of OSL, but nothing to this level. I don't understand it to this level. But the great thing about OSL is that even if you understand really basic stuff, you can build the cell map that I did. This is actually a 2-line code. Okay, so even with that much, the UV distort is literally a 1-line code. So if you understand even the basics, you can do a lot with it. Okay, so what you do is you just take this and plug it into random rotation and then just come down to the angle step and increase that and see. So get it to 360. And what this does is it just randomizes the rotation. Okay, which itself is great. You can get a decent bit. But then let's also do one thing. I will connect this into the scaling as well, the U and V, and we'll go from say 0.6 to 1. Yeah, see, so there you go. Okay, and like if we adjust this, see, you can sort of like see the squares where they kind of move. Okay. Like it's not as visible, but you know, it is sort of there. Like if you scale it down a lot, you'll start seeing like a checker pattern in there. So let's keep it about 7 or 8. So now what I can do is on top of this, I can just plug in my UV distort into this. And so what this can do is it will help me sort of break up the overall pattern itself. So if you kind of like take the multiply down to 0, so you can see like those straight lines, and then as you increase it, it will kind of break up, you know, so you won't see the pattern won't be as obvious. Like you don't increase it too much, then it just sort of distorts the whole thing, which is not bad either. But yeah, like that gives me, you know, like a genuinely random texture overall, which otherwise this is also good, you know, but see, you can like, if you come down close over here, so you can see that straight line, which is there from my cell map. Okay, so what you can do is if you increase it a lot, see now you don't see it because it is distorting the whole texture. Okay, it's distorting like the UV lines. So the texture itself doesn't get distorted. Okay, so you're not going to get any weird patterns in the texture. You know, the repeat lines will go away. So you combine all of it together, you get a genuinely, you know, non-repeating pattern for the whole thing. So reset this and then let's build up the full shader. So what we did last time was we used like a slope map and everything, but there's a really simple way to shade your terrains. Like if you just want to do a slope based terrain, you can do it through a triplanar itself. Like it's very, very simple. So what you do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to duplicate this. And what I want to do is, let's say the ground should be grass and then the verticals should be this dirt that I have. Okay, so what I can do is I can just take this to grass, and all you need to do is that the dirt will be in everything else except the y-axis, the positive y, and the grass will come into positive y. Okay, so just take this and plug this into positive y, and there you go. Okay, it doesn't update immediately, but sometimes you need to disconnect and reconnect, but there you go. Like this is a really simple way to do it. And then all you have to do is take the blend angle and just increase it a bit so it sort of blends together. But this is the simplest way to texture your terrains. Now as a final thing, what we can do is I can just create like a bump map for this. So all you have to do is duplicate like the first 3 nodes. So I can just take this much, do Control C, Control V, and just replace the basic maps with, you know, with the height maps of this. So I can just take this, the grass, I can plug it into height, and I can take this guy and plug this into height as well, and just put it in through a multiply so you can control the bump amount. Yeah, and so if I temporarily just disconnect, you know, this thing and zoom in a bit, I should get like a, see, there you go. So you have like a fairly decent, you know, bump map on the whole thing, like a knob, but and you don't get any kind of a repeat pattern. And then we can also take a look at our cliff. See, so, you know, there it is. So you can bring this back and yeah, you have a fairly nice, decent, you know, non-repeating terrain. And then on top of this, if you want to bring in like, you know, the rest of the maps that you have made, the flow map and the debris map and all of that, that you can do, you know, that's sort of up to you. Like we can try to bring one of those in. I don't know, let's see if we can bring something in. So I can just take this and maybe just do a multiply or something. Let's do one thing. I'm going to take texture image RGB. Yeah, so we have this. Let me just check this. Okay. So again, so in order to you know, extract this, I'm going to need a channel extractor. Okay, and again, like keep the gamma to 1. Okay, so it works better. Usually it's at 2.2. You don't want to keep it at 2.2. So take a texture OSL. Like a lot of the stuff that you can do now is simply because, you know, Octane has OSL. It's sort of like the way with Houdini you have Vex. So a lot of the crazy stuff you can do with Houdini is simply because you have access to Vex and WAPs. It's the same thing with Octane now. Like you have like a ton of OSL available, so you can just sort of use that. Yeah, let's pick up channels, and yeah, so let's just plug this in, and let's see what we get. Which one do we want? Yeah, I think this is fine. So let's again take a mix. I'll plug this in here. This comes into the second one, and I'll just take a color. Yeah, there you go. See, so you can get something decent. Let's see what color we can give to this. That's not bad. What you can try is after the OSL, I can take like a color correction in the middle and just adjust the gamma or something. Yeah, there you go. See, so you can make it slightly darker like that. Yeah, there you go. That looks decent. And you can try different inputs. So we have, this is the flow map, and I believe that is water. Yeah, you don't want water. So you can do this. Alright, so that's basically it. So this is how you can do better looking terrains. Okay, but actually this would apply to anything, like any kind of pattern that you're trying to make where you want to sort of hide the tiling. The same technique applies. You don't need to do triplanar every time. The triplanar is important for doing landscapes. But even if you're doing like textures on the side of buildings and stuff like that, like you want to do dirt or concrete or something, but you don't want to see a repeating pattern, you can easily use the same technique. Or even if you want to do repeating patterns, but they should be just randomly rotated, again the same thing works. So yeah, you can. This is a really useful map. So once again, thank you for making the map, because this is really useful. I hope one day they kind of build this into Octane itself. Like you don't need to download an OSL map, but yeah, like it's almost the same thing. You just need to click a load button. That's essentially it. So yeah, I'll make, again, like I'm going to put the link to the website in the description, and I'll also do like a Dropbox link to the OSL maps that I ended up using, so that you can build the whole thing. I'll also attach the textures that I used and the height map that I have been using so far, so you can sort of build the entire thing yourself, and the Houdini file, because this is a relatively complex setup. Like this is not simple. So if you have any questions regarding this, you can write to me in the YouTube comments, or you can ask me on Twitter or Vimeo or wherever. Don't ask me about complex OSL. If you want complex OSL, you can ask Raphael. Like he should be he should be able to help you with that. So yeah, once again, I hope this was useful, and that's basically it.